Ryanair. I last reviewed them in 2018 for a domestic Portuguese flight, but here I am in Malta, flying to Bologna in Italy. The plane may say Ryanair on the outside, but there's a bit more going on, because I'm actually flying on a different airline that's massively expanding within Europe, Malta Air. What's it like to fly on Malta Air, a Ryanair subsidiary? Let's find out on this trip on the 737-800. The flag carrier of Malta is Air Malta, which makes sense. But in 2019, Ryanair entered into a joint venture with the Maltese government, creating a new low-cost airline, Malta Air. But how different is it really from Ryanair? Well, the Maltese government only owns one share of the company, not 1%, just one single share. It's a special share, though, that comes with the ability to name the airline among other special powers. Totally not for labor costs and tax reasons, Malta Air was created to serve Malta and Bergamo, Italy. Ryanair transferred over 120 737-800s with Ryanair paint. Supposedly they plan to repaint them at some point, but paint costs money.
Hello, I like money.
The 737 MAX 200-seat game-changer aircraft,
This is a game changer, folks. Game changer.
are starting to be delivered straight from Boeing, and at least one of them has the official Malta Air livery, and 25 of the MAXs have been delivered, bringing the total fleet size to 145. Sure, this whole airline is just a play to reduce labor costs and taxes, but they are hardly the only airline to do so, Alitalia. This isn't even the first time Ryanair has done this, with Buzz and Lauda also being international subsidiaries. During COVID, Lauda was also made into a Maltese airline as well.
Your clowns are very impressive. You must be very proud.
From Malta to Bologna, Malta Air flies directly, while EasyJet, Air Malta, and Alitalia, ITA, need a connection. And for the day and time that I wanted, I had no other choice than Malta Air.
They were the only option.
The ticket was also pretty pricey. While tickets start at just over €10, my flight started over 50, and for a plus fare that included a check bag and seat selection, I ended up paying $76. Turns out the high price was due to an Italian holiday. Ryanair is of course the king of low-cost gotcha games. The personal item allowed is tiny. A checked bag is cheaper than a carry-on. Print out your boarding pass ahead of time at home or pay a fee. This was in fact the only flight on my whole trip that I planned to check my suitcase. I arrived at the Malta airport and dropped off my bag where there was no line. After security, I went upstairs to the Lavalette lounge that accepts Priority Pass. It was very well styled, with good seats and charging ports, basic food and drink, and a smoking deck that doubles for plane spotting. Wi-Fi was also very solid. Sadly, there's the typical European shenanigans of not posting the gate even when it's abundantly obvious, and I made my way down to the gate 45 minutes prior to departure. The gate area? Oh boy, what a mess. Look at this line. The plane has not even landed, guys. Why are we doing this? This was also the priority line, which I didn't have, so I had to move to a different line. And I swear half the plane had priority boarding, or people were just going ahead. If everyone has priority access, nobody does. Even though the plane was only a few hundred feet away, we took a bus. I boarded the bus only 15 minutes prior to scheduled departure. My ticket told me to head to the rear stairs, so I headed that way. I was still outside the aircraft 3 minutes after scheduled departure. You can also see where they painted over the Irish flag for the Maltese one, as the flags are different sizes. I was one of the very last to board, and doors closed 5 minutes past departure time. The seats. Wow, yep, they are stiff as a board. Yes, the plastic seats on the bus are more comfortable. Legroom, however, was shockingly good. American and British Airways take note. Part of how they can do this is the lack of a seatback pouch. Of course there's no recline. legroom was 30 inches, which, yes, is the same as Americans' Project Oasis. One rather sad note is the branding is 100% Ryanair. Malta Air is mentioned nowhere in the interior. The crew is dressed in Ryanair uniforms and refers to the airline as Ryanair. We took off 20 minutes late. Flying time was an hour 35 at 38,000 feet. We left Malta towards the north and flew over Sicily west of Palermo. It goes without saying that there's no Wi-Fi or entertainment of any kind. First, there was a paid snack service where everything, including water, was paid. Then the duty-free sales pitch began, where they rattled off individual products and prices for roughly 2 minutes. Then they did it all over again in Italian. Something something Marc Jacobs, something something perfume. My Bose QC35s proved their worth yet again. We flew over Tuscany, right past Montepulciano, before landing in Bologna. We taxied to a remote stand, took a bus to the terminal, before I took the new Marconi Express to Bologna Centrale. So Malta Air, yes, it's basically just Ryanair. But why are they doing this? Well, besides the tax benefits, Maltese crews are less expensive than continental European ones, and they can speak both English and Italian, so there's a large swath of Europe that they're perfect in covering. Right now, they are primarily handling flights in Malta and Bergamo, but I'd expect them to continue to take over additional Ryanair routes over time. I only just wish they had a bit more of a local flair. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click that button and please subscribe for many more flight reviews to come. I'll see you next time for the first of 2 train reviews, seeing what it's like to take the fastest train in Italy that helped put Alitalia in the ground.